Good Monday, everyone. I told you last week that we would join together for more information whenever someone else did something really, really stupid. And they did. It was over the weekend. I want to introduce you to Gino Costa, who's 73, and his son, Rocky Costa, who's 15. Now, what I'm about to tell you, you just absolutely cannot believe. This ranks among the craziest stuff that I've seen in a while. And I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. So these guys live at 4900 Cypress Gardens Road, which is an apartment complex, in number 32. Got that? So we have a witness that lives down the apartment street from the Costas. He goes outside about 7 o'clock Saturday morning, and he discovers that they've made a missed delivery. That's right. Someone has left pharmaceutical medicine at his house. So our witness, being a good Samaritan, being a good neighbor, doing what any one of us would have, took the medicine and went down to the Costas residence, who it was intended for, walked up to their front door and hung it on the door and left. Well, the Costas have a Ring doorbell, and it hit both of their cell phones that a guy was at the front door. So what do? They think they're being broken into. Are you kidding me? The dude is being a good neighbor, and he simply goes there and returns the package to the appropriate address. So he goes home. They arm themselves. First, Rocky comes outside. He looks around. He doesn't see anybody. He goes back inside. Then Gino picks up his .45, so they both have .45 caliber firearms. And Gino, not only does he pick up his firearm, he picks up his cane so he can walk. And they go outside. And they're searching for their quote-unquote burglar. There is no burglar. So they get almost 100 yards away from their house, and there is a lady in a dark-colored car with dark windows, with the engine running, and she's sitting in the car playing on her cell phone, looking at her messages, minding her own business. When she looks up and she sees Gino standing at the back of her vehicle with a gun pointed at her, screaming for her to get out of the car. Well, she thinks he's about to carjack me. He's going to rob me. So she throws her car into reverse. She's trying to back out of the way. She, in the meantime, crashes into a car that's behind her because she's trying to leave. She thinks she's getting robbed at gunpoint. Rocky hears the commotion. He comes over. He thinks that our victim is trying to back into him, and he starts shooting into the car. And then Gino shoots into the car. She puts the car in drive and speeds away. Did you hear what I said? The two of them shot at an innocent lady sitting in her car where she had the right to be, looking at her cell phone. They shot at her 7 times. She wasn't hit. She notified the sheriff's office. We started our investigation. During our investigation, we learned that one of the bullets, even though it didn't hit her, went through the baby's car seat in the back and lodged in the driver's seat of the car. Our victim was that close to death, and certainly had there been a baby in the car seat, the baby would have been killed. So you've got these two guys who are way out of line, way out of control. They don't understand the Florida law. The guy who's helping, he simply was taking the medicine down and putting it on the doorknob or at the front door because they delivered it to his house as opposed to the Colon Costas. They go out searching for a burglar that wasn't there and shot up an innocent lady's car while she was in it. That's crazy. They can look at each other and say, young son, old dad, I guess we are messed up because we're going to prison for a long time. We've got them charged with attempted murder, among other things. Listen, here's a message. In Florida, we have a wonderful castle doctrine law. We have a wonderful stand your ground law. That doesn't mean you can go search people out and shoot them. That's what they did. They searched people out to shoot them. And newsflash, even if the first guy who would have been the burglary suspect, if he was, they shot the wrong person. So anybody that walks up to their front door, a friend, a relative, a neighbor, doing a neighborly deed by delivering medicine that got sent to the wrong house, gets shot at? What are they thinking? Neither of them had a criminal record until Saturday morning, and now they both have real long criminal records. And our goal is for them to go to prison. You don't shoot at people. You don't leave the security of your home and go out and chase people down. That is not appropriate. And then the person that they chased down was not even the person that made the delivery. Just shoot whoever's in the neighborhood. What kind of craziness is that? So if you have problems seeing people who are totally out of control and totally crazy, look at these two here. And oh, by the way, Rocky's 15. He doesn't have the right to have a handgun in the first place. But dear old dad's giving him a gun. And now between the two of them, they have managed to find their way to lockup, to the county jail and to juvenile lockup. Stand by for more news on that. As you know, last week, Gabriel Batista is the one that shot my deputy dead center in the chest. Gabriel Batista said that he was going to die by secondhand suicide. That was his terminology. In fact, when the deputies came out of the house from the family disturbance, as I briefed y'all last week, Gabriel had driven past both of their marked cars, stopped his car in front of his separated wife's house, and approached the deputies telling them, "You'll have to kill me. You'll have to kill me here in the driveway." Well, today we're making the video that we saw and retrieved from the house available for you. And I'm going to go over that. As you see, our deputies tried to talk to this man who from the very beginning has his hands behind his back. You see, we're trying to talk to him and de-escalate it. He's backing away from us. He's going to back around his car, which is in the road, and immediately we pull our firearm and our taser when he would not de-escalate, and we continue to talk to him, Now what we can't see, and you'll see right here, he's got a gun in his hand, and he shoots, and he ends up shooting 6 times at our deputy. Our deputy's firearm jammed after the first shot, but the first shot was enough. He slipped and fell and threw his gun down by the time our second deputy transitioned to her firearm and they were ready to re-engage him. They were remarkably restrained because this all happened in seconds. But when they saw that he had thrown his firearm down after only being shot at one time, then they took him safely into custody. And note that our deputy, even after being shot in the chest, was able to take the man into custody. And you see they've got the light on him. The one with the light's got the firearm, the other one's got the taser. She tries to tase him right here. At the same instant he shoots, he goes down, he throws his gun down, he's got his hand in the air. They both have their firearms out. Now this is after he's shot in the chest. And he's already, he's cleared his gun, reloaded, and they've taken him into custody. And you can see it in slow motion here. That is remarkable restraint, that after he shot 6 times at our deputy, striking him once. And you can see the gun here. There's the taser, there's the first shot, and there's the subsequent shots at our deputy. He goes down, he throws the gun down, and they take him into custody even after being shot in the center of the chest. He's in the county jail under no bond. He might as well get used to it. That's where we intend for him to stay for the rest of his life once he has a jury trial. And I'm certain that when we present all the evidence to a jury, they'll make the appropriate decision based upon the evidence before them at that time. Any other questions before we go?
How are your deputies doing at this time?
Yeah, they're doing remarkably well. Our deputy was treated and released from the hospital. As you saw, even after taking a bullet to the chest, I mean, he's Superman. He stayed in the fight, recovered, cleared his firearm, and was still able to participate in taking the guy into custody. Our other deputy, who had the taser, because once again, we're trying to use less than lethal. We didn't see any firearms, but when somebody does not comply with us, and we've said this over and over and over, when somebody does not comply and their hands are behind them, we automatically have to guess that they've got some kind of weapon that they want to hurt us, but still they tried to de-escalate. And it goes from this to this, and that's how fast you're shot. So we're blessed that with 6 shots, the only one that hit him was the one dead center where his vest was, and that he survived. And quite frankly, we've got to ask ourselves, what's going on in these people's minds? Like I said, he wanted to do secondhand suicide and take it out on the deputies. And once again, they showed remarkable restraint, because in that split second, and even though he had thrown the gun down, him wallering around in his hands, he could have easily picked that gun back up, and they would have been justified in using more force than they did. But that is experienced deputies. One had 22 years of experience, our female deputy there, and our male deputy who was shot had 15 years of experience. So at the end of the day, everyone's okay, and they'll be coming back to work. There's a period of administrative time until we can do some reports, and also we have a protocol when they're in a high danger situation. They have to talk to our psychiatrist and be cleared by him before coming back to work. So we're blessed.
You spoke to the deputy who was shot. How is he reflecting upon this?
Oh my goodness. When I saw him at the hospital, and he had an abrasion, and he had the abrasion really because he was wearing his St. Michael's that he said he never leaves home without. That caused the abrasion from the bullet hitting, because the bullet was stopped in the vest, but it hit his St. Michael's and caused the abrasion. He was he was unbelievably calm, cool, and collected. When you hear him on the radio saying, "I've been hit," he's calm, cool, and collected. You know, you would never know that the man was just shot in the chest. He's Superman. He's Superman. These guys here, I can't get over this. This is so wrong on every level. Rocky and Gino Cullen Costa. It's wrong on so many levels, every level. The fact that, you know, neighbors trying to do them a good deed, they think they're being broken into. There was no evidence, zero evidence that they were being broken into, none. They just simply see a guy standing on their front porch on their Ring door camera as he's bringing their medicine to them. And then they go out and trace down some lady sitting in her car in another part of the complex and shoot her up. Try to get her out of the car at gunpoint. Not even the person on the Ring camera. Just crazy. See y'all later. Take care.